coverage you can count on. This is WAAY 31 News Mornings.
Well, good Saturday morning, Tennessee Valley. Some of us are seeing a little bit of rain this morning. I'll tell you how long it sticks around coming up.
Community members in Limestone County are coming together to help one family who lost a child and their home in a fire. Plus, we're taking a moment to remember iconic singer Jimmy Buffett, who passed away overnight at the age of 76. Good morning, and thank you for joining us for WAAY 31 News Mornings. It is Saturday, September 2nd, and I'm Georgia Clark. Now, we've got a lot to get to this morning, but first, let's get a check of our forecast. Now, Amber, you are joining us in the Storm Tracker Weather Center, and you know what this weekend is. It is the start of college football season. So what is this weekend going to look like for those games?
Well, the game's not looking too bad, depending on where you go. And I'll have your Alabama and Auburn forecast coming up later on. But for now, if you are headed out the door in North Alabama, some of us are seeing a little bit of rain. Decatur, one of those cities that's dealing with the rain this morning, 68 for that temperature. Here's the 31 triple Doppler. And like I said, a little bit of rainfall this morning. So depending on where you're at, you may need that umbrella for an hour or two before we get this out of our system. But this afternoon, looking a lot better. So if you did have plans to maybe grill out for those football games, looking pretty good. Current temperatures, can't complain. We're in those 60s and some lower 70s for North Alabama to start you out on this Saturday. We'll warm up into the 80s once again. And that muggy meter looking good as we head into your Labor Day weekend. We're staying in that pleasant category today, tomorrow, and Monday. So if you were planning on doing something outside, you have that green light for the next 3 days. For the next couple of hours, we will keep those low-end rain chances, but by the afternoon hours, we will start to see the rain clear out. So will the clouds, and we'll see that sunshine. I'll have more details on what to expect for the rest of your weekend coming up.
Thanks, Amber. Keep track of the weather ahead of your weekend plans by downloading our WAAY 31 Storm Tracker weather app. With it, you'll have access to our triple Doppler, and it is free for your devices. Now, this morning, people across Limestone County are banding together to help a family who lost a child and their home in a fire. Fire marshals say they believe an electrical fire started the fire, and one neighbor says around a dozen people were at the home when the fire broke out. Firefighters were able to rescue a trapped child who later died at the hospital, and we're working to learn his name and age. And 2 schools in Limestone County are collecting donations to help the family who lost their home. Both Clements High School and Blue Springs Elementary began taking donations at last night's football game. We spoke with several students who say they know some of the kids from the home and who say they are glad to see the community helping their friends in need.
I'm really glad that the school actually cares about our community and that we're able to raise money for the family. So it just really makes me happy.
Leaders at both schools say they are still accepting donations, and there will also be a donation drive at Clements Baptist Church tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning. New details: kidnapped adults will now be covered by Alabama's Missing and Endangered Persons Alert. Governor Kay Ivey signed the expansion into law yesterday. And child care providers have a chance to apply for new grants. Those who qualify can apply through September 18th. A spokesperson for the Alabama Department of Human Resources says the stability grants will go towards wages, tuition relief, meals, and facility maintenance. Those applications are on the Alabama DHR website. And new this morning, iconic Margaritaville singer Jimmy Buffett has died. An announcement on his website says he passed away peacefully last night, surrounded by family, friends, music, and dogs. Buffett was known for his hits like Cheeseburger in Paradise, Come Monday, and of course, Margaritaville. He was 76 years old. New information: Georgia's governor says he's working to determine if state senator should be suspended after being indicted in Fulton County. Prosecutors accuse Schwan Still of serving as fake elector in the state's 2020 election. Georgia's law states public officials can be suspended from or removed from office for felony indictments. Several of the former President Donald Trump's allies are expected to appear in Fulton County next Wednesday for an arraignment hearing, and former President Donald Trump will not be there. He pleaded not guilty to 13 counts and waived his right to appear in person at the hearing. And lawmakers say changes are coming to food stamp eligibility this month. More low-income Americans will need to work in order to receive food stamps, and adults up to 50 years old without kids will need to show proof they're working at least 80 hours a month. Veterans, homeless people, and young adults who aged out of foster care are exempt. And you'll pay less for your groceries this weekend. Alabama's new grocery tax law went into effect yesterday. The law cuts the sales tax on all groceries by 1%. Another 1% tax cut is expected next semester. And Tennessee's grocery tax holiday is currently in effect. The holiday will last through the end of October, and Governor Bill Lee says the holiday is expected to save families and small businesses around $400 million. And happening now, FDA inspectors are sounding the alarm about 3 baby formula makers. They say By Heart Incorporated, Reckitt Mead Johnson Nutrition, and Perigo Wisconsin LLC violated health codes. Those inspectors supervised their facilities over the past year, and they say despite the warning, they're not aware of any formula being contaminated at this time. And one school in the Shoals is making a difference inside and outside of the classroom. Students at Allen Thornton Technical Center in Lauderdale County raised over $6,000 for autism awareness. They used social media and spoke with people in the community to raise those funds, and student organizers say it all comes down to one simple goal.
Be kind. I hope they choose kindness, because that's what really uplifts people, and I think it's probably like one of the most important things that we can have as a society, just being kind, you know?
The nonprofit organization Love Michael is what they are basing this off of, and if you'd like to make a donation, you can call the school. Now, one group is in the Shoals is hosting an event to bring awareness to child abuse. Organizers with the Caden Gardner Project will hold the free event at McLean Homes in Tuscumbia. It's today at 4. And the event is in remembrance of Garner. He was only 3 years old when he was beaten to death. Last week, jurors found Yllyric Pride guilty for his death. And Albertville school leaders want to educate you both about the health and legal dangers of vaping. They will hold a free meeting for parents Tuesday at the Albertville City Schools Fine Arts Center, and that meeting will begin at 6 p.m.
6:07 is your time now on this Saturday morning. Good morning, Muscle Shoals. Now it is cloudy to start off your weekend. 71 degrees right now. Temperatures will warm as we head into the afternoon hours. Some of us, though, are dealing with a little bit of rain this morning. 31 triple Doppler showing that rainfall extending from Athens down to Decatur, even Gunnersville, seeing a little light rain this morning. So if you are headed out to grab breakfast or that early morning coffee, take it a little slow on those roadways and make sure your headlights are on so the other drivers can see you. But this rain is not going to stick around forever. We will start to see things clear up as we head towards the afternoon hours today. That muggy meter, though, we're in that comfortable category for the rest of your Saturday, even into Sunday and Monday. The humidity is staying low. So any plans that you have to be outdoors, maybe you're barbecuing for Labor Day weekend, you're good to go for the rest of the weekend. 87 for your high today, and we'll see those showers this morning, but that will turn into sunshine as we move towards the afternoon hours today. Go ahead and reach for that extra large iced coffee on this Saturday. Treat yourself, because guess what? College football is back, and I'll have that forecast for Alabama and Auburn coming up.
Thanks, Amber. Hawaii leaders are asking tourists to come back to Maui as hundreds of people remain missing this morning. Plus, Labor Day weekend is here. We're looking at the record being broken for summer travel this season.
Good morning. Coming up here on GMA, the holiday travel weekend now underway. Millions of commuters expected to hit the roads and the skies at record-breaking numbers. Will have the best and worst times to travel. Also, rental scam warning. One family speaking out after their home was falsely listed for rent. What homeowners and renters need to know amid warnings about similar cases nationwide. And college football kickoff. We're live on the ground in Charlotte, North Carolina for today's first full day of games with all the excitement for the season. It's all ahead right here on this Labor Day weekend here on GMA.
We're taking a live look at the Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport. The Labor Day weekend travel rush is in full swing this weekend, and travel experts say they expect around 14 million people to hit the skies between now and Wednesday. Labor Day weekend travel is expected to push this year's summer travel season to a new record. TSA agents say they have screened more than 227 million since Memorial Day. A new AAA report also shows people are booking more international flights as travelers flock to cities like London and Rome.
You are seeing flights and trips over to Europe and down to Latin America booming right now, with numbers that are significantly higher than what we saw pre-pandemic.
More than half of all Americans are expected to travel this holiday weekend. And law enforcement officers across North Alabama are reminding you to be careful out in the water this weekend. They say to always check the weather before you get in a boat, wear a life jacket, bring all of your safety gear, and boat sober. Law enforcement will have extra patrols this weekend to make sure you have a safe holiday. And new this morning, CDC leaders were warning you to be careful if you're taking a last-minute beach trip to the East Coast. They say flesh-eating bacteria infections are on a rise. So far, 5 people have died. Scientists believe an increase in coastal sea surface temperatures could be a factor. And President Biden says he's looking to increase the number of staff in nursing homes. A new Medicare and Medicaid proposal is calling for at least 1 registered nurse to be on duty, with 1 nurse aide for every 10 residents. Nursing home workers say they will need more funding to meet that goal. And happening today, President Biden will visit Florida to tour damage left behind by Hurricane Idalia. He's asking for an extra $4 billion in aid for FEMA ahead of that trip. That's on top of the $12 billion he originally requested earlier this week. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says he will not meet with the president today and says a meeting would require extra security, which could affect recovery efforts.
And so what we want to do is make sure that the power restoration continues, that the relief efforts continue, and that we don't have any interruption in that.
The governor says he spoke with President Biden on the phone about his concerns, but the White House leaders say those concerns were never raised. And the Biden administration is also calling on lawmakers to pass a spending bill in order to prevent a government shutdown. The government's fiscal year wraps up at the end of September, and President Biden says a temporary spending bill will help fund programs like WIC. And new information, tourism leaders in Hawaii are encouraging more people to take trips to the state after those deadly wildfires. They say 15% of all tourism dollars come from Maui, and the state is expected to be losing around $9 million a day because people aren't visiting. Currently, only the west side of the island is closed to tourists. And right now, rescue crews are working to find nearly 400 people still on the missing persons list. Police say there are 245 people were taken off the list, but nearly an equal number were also added. Hawaii's governor says he was expecting that list to fall below 100. And new this morning, video games could be the next form of entertainment to join TV and movies and already being delayed. Board members for acting union SAG-AFTRA voted unanimously to allow a strike authorization vote. The possible strike comes as union leaders are set to renegotiate contracts with major game companies for video game actors later this month. Union members are asking for more protections from artificial intelligence and better pay. Social media company X, formerly known as Twitter, has a new privacy policy. Company leaders say the site could begin collecting your biometric information to fight impersonators, and the site could also begin collecting your employment history and use it to send possible job openings.
Now, Wave 31 Storm Tracker meteorologist Amber Kulik with 31 Triple Doppler.
Now, Amber, sadly, I'm not going to make it down to Troy today to watch my alma mater's football game. What about you?
No, sadly, I don't think I'm going to go to Mobile. For those who don't know, we went to rival schools, so
Yes.
this is
We like to have a fun time about that.
Well, if you are headed down to the football games, though, let's get into that forecast to show you what you can expect. Now here in North Alabama, we're starting the day off with some clouds once again. Some of us are even seeing a little bit of rainfall and maybe some areas of patchy fog. So a lot going on to start you off on this Saturday morning. Temperatures once again in those 60s to start you out, but a little warmer than where we have been over the past 2 days. Here's a look at 31 triple Doppler, and we are still seeing that rain falling this morning. Now, some good news, it's not going to stick around all day long, but we'll zoom in a little closer to show you where the heaviest rain is falling right along 65 and 565 in portions of Morgan, even into Madison and Limestone County. So if you're headed out the door, maybe you're headed out to grab breakfast or that early morning coffee, take it a little slow on those roadways, and of course make sure your headlights are on so the other drivers can see you. Current temperatures across North Alabama in those upper 60s, low 70s for some of us, 71 in Fort Payne, it's 70 in Scottsboro, 68 in Decatur, 66 down in Coleman, and 71 over in Muscle Shoals this morning. Now the cloud cover will help keep those temperatures once again in those 80s as we head into the afternoon hours. So here's what we're looking at for Sand Mountain. We'll be in those middle to upper 80s today. A little warmer around the metro. We'll make it up into those upper 80s for a majority of us. I didn't forget about you out in the shoals. You'll be in those low to middle 80s as well. So really can't beat that once again for, the second day of September. And your Muggy Meter, if you do have any plans to be outdoors for Labor Day weekend, maybe you're grilling out for those football games this evening, our Muggy Meter is in the pleasant category today, tomorrow, and again on Monday. Now, although our temperatures will be on the way up, at least we don't have to worry about the humidity. Here's what we're expecting for the next couple of hours. Those showers will stick around into the late morning hours, but by this afternoon, we will start to see the skies clear and a little bit of sunshine for the afternoon hours and that lower humidity as well. As we move into the overnight hours tonight, we'll start to see the clouds build back in across the Tennessee Valley, but then by tomorrow morning, sunshine returns once again, and your Sunday is looking good. But it will be comfortable again. Clouds moving in by the evening hours. So we get a little bit of sunshine tomorrow before we have to deal with the cloud cover once again. And of course, the Tide and the Tigers are back this afternoon. So if you're headed down to the games, well, here's what to expect. Both areas will see a chance for some showers and thunderstorms, so make sure that you have your rain gear with you if you are headed down that way. If you're watching it at home, though, you're good to go. As we move through the next couple of days for that Labor Day weekend, temperatures will continue to warm up across the Tennessee Valley, 91 by your Monday. And if you are traveling, trying to fit in that last-minute beach trip, expect some showers and thunderstorms along the Gulf Coast. But Birmingham, Nashville, Atlanta, looking good if that's where your travels are taking you this weekend. Just make sure you're being safe on those roadways. Here's what to expect over the next 10 days. Now the Trash Pandas will be home next week for their last home games of the season. We will keep an eye on the end of next week as a cold front looks to come through the Tennessee Valley, and that could bring with it some showers and thunderstorms and maybe some cooler temperatures as well.
I'm definitely looking forward to those.
Oh, yeah.
It has been nice this week. I've enjoyed it.
It really has. Keep the train going.
Yeah, definitely so. Thanks, Amber. It's the weekend. We take a look at some fun events you can go to next. Got any weekend plans? If not, we've got you covered. Here's a few events taking place across North Alabama.
I'm Haley Loveday with Rocket City Mom, and I'm here to let you know about some fantastic events going on in our area this weekend. This weekend is your last chance to go on a wild goose chase at Burritt on the Mountain. Chase the clues to find Gertie the Goose statues throughout the site as you hike the trails, visit the barnyard animals, explore the historic park, and tour the mansion. Each statue marks a noteworthy location, and fun fact, there are 4 different chases for your family to enjoy. The Wild Goose Chase is included in general admission and free for members. It's harvest time, and nothing says fall quite like Festifall at the Huntsville Botanical Gardens. The garden's 2-month celebration of the changing season kicks off today and features pumpkins, scarecrows, campouts, nature hikes, and so much more. As the air turns crisp and the leaves begin to change color, there's no better place to connect with nature and enjoy the beauty of autumn. Festifall runs today through Halloween during normal garden hours. Sunday is full of fun, starting with the 16th Annual Caribbean Day at the park, hosted by the Caribbean Association of North Alabama at John Hunt Park from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. The purpose of the event is to introduce the public to the Caribbean culture, cuisine, and lifestyle in a family-friendly environment. There will be a host of vendors selling curried, jerk, and stewed delicacies, free activities like face painting, arts and crafts, Caribbean board games, musical chairs, a live reggae band, and Caribbean dancing. Expect an amazing display of Caribbean culture and experience. Entrance is free to the public. Also on Sunday night, join the community to kick off Huntsville's Music Month with the first performance of Jazz in the Park in Big Spring Park downtown. This performance will be headlined by Jessie J with the all-female band Triple Threat and with West Coast saxophonist Arisa Nicole as an opener. Every night of Jazz in the Park will include food trucks, performing arts exhibitions, and a kids zone with face painting and bubbles. Jazz in the Park is every Sunday in September from 5 to 9 p.m. For another look at more events going on in our area, check out RocketCityMom.com. For Way 31 News, I'm Haley Loveday.
You're taking a live look at the U.S. Space and Rocket Center, and you still have time to check out a free event on the historic NASA mission. Leaders there will host mission members for the Mars Perseverance rover tonight at 7, and tickets for tonight's event are limited. In Scottsboro City, leaders are preparing for their Labor Day Trade Day today. The event begins at 9 this morning in downtown Scottsboro, and there will be more than 60 vendors, food, and live music. Event organizers say some of the vendors will even stay through the weekend. Coming up, why one group of astronauts are being forced to wait another day in space before they can return home to Earth.
coverage you can count on. This is Wave 31 News Mornings.
Well, some of the Tennessee Valley is waking up to a few rain showers this morning. I'll tell you how long the rain's going to stick around coming up.
Community members in Limestone County are coming together to help one family who lost a child and their home in a fire. Plus, we're taking a moment to remember iconic singer Jimmy Buffett, who passed away overnight at the age of 76. Good morning, and thank you for joining us for Wave 31 News Mornings. It's Saturday, September 2nd, and I'm Georgia Clark. Now, we've got a lot to get to this morning, but first, let's get a check of our forecast. Wave 31 Storm Tracker meteorologist Amber Kulick joins us. Now, Amber, we know what this weekend is. It is the start of college football, and we are all looking forward to that. So, what's the weather going to look like for the games?
Well, depending on where you're watching the games, if you're going to the games or if you're having a barbecue at your house, will depend on what the weather's looking like. But let's start off in North Alabama, because right now a lot of us are dealing with the cloud cover and some of us are dealing with the showers. Here's a look at the Space and Rocket Center at 68 degrees in Huntsville right now. And again, like I said, some of us are dealing with the rain this morning. 31 triple Doppler shows that rainfall extending from Athens, Decatur, even Gunnersville seeing some light rain. So if you're headed out the door to grab breakfast or that early morning coffee, take it a little slow on those roadways. Make sure your headlights are on, and of course, be careful. Now, this is what we're looking at temperature-wise across North Alabama. We're in those middle to upper 60s, even some low 70s showing up. And as we head into the afternoon hours today, good news for you. We'll be in that comfortable category for the muggy meter. So that means if you do have any plans to barbecue or grill out for college football, you're looking good to be outside. Weather on the go as you walk through the next few hours here. We'll stay in those 70s thanks to the cloud cover. By the afternoon hours, we'll finally start to see a little sunshine. Temperatures making their way up into the 80s for highs today. Heading into the evening hours tonight, we'll drop off into the low 80s by 8 p.m. Headed back towards those upper 60s for overnight lows, but I'll time out the rest of your Labor Day weekend and tell you exactly what it looks like coming up.
Thanks, Amber. This morning, people across Limestone County are banding together to help a family who lost a child and a home in a fire. Fire marshals say they believe an electrical fire started this fire, and one neighbor says around a dozen people were at the home when the fire broke out. Firefighters were able to rescue one trapped child who later died at the hospital, and we are working to learn his name and age. And 2 schools in Limestone County are collecting donations to help the family who lost their home. Both Clements High School and Blue Springs Elementary began taking donations last night at last night's football game. We spoke with several students who say they know some of the kids from the home, and they say they're glad to see the community helping their friends in need.
I'm really glad that the school actually cares about our community and that we're able to raise money for the family, so it just really makes me happy.
Leaders at both schools say they are still accepting donations, and there will also be a donation drive at Clements Baptist Church tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning. New details: kidnapped adults will now be covered by Alabama's Missing and Endangered Persons Alert. Governor Kay Ivey signed the expansion into law yesterday. And child care providers have the chance to apply for a new grant, and those who qualify can apply through September 18th. Spokesperson for the Alabama Department of Human Resources says the stability grants will go towards wages, tuition relief, meals, and facility maintenance. Those applications are on the Alabama DHR website. New this morning, iconic Margaritaville singer Jimmy Buffett has died. An announcement on his website says he passed away peacefully last night, surrounded by family, friends, music, and dogs. Buffett was known for his hits like Cheeseburger in Paradise, Come Monday, and of course, Margaritaville. He was 76 years old. New information: Georgia's governor says he's working to determine if a state senator should be suspended after being indicted in Fulton County. Prosecutors accuse Sean Still of serving as a fake elector in the state's 2020 election. Georgia law states public officials can be suspended or removed from office for felony indictments. Several of former President Donald Trump's allies are expected to appear in Fulton County next Wednesday for an arraignment hearing. Former President Donald Trump will not be there, and he pleaded not guilty to 13 counts and waived his right to appear in person at the hearing. And a new warning for parents this morning about cyberbullying. Marshall County's District Attorney Jennifer Bray is sounding the alarm on a Snapchat group that encouraged a person to kill themselves. Bray says a group of 5th graders posted the comment with the kid's name followed by the words, "kill yourself." Now she wants parents to closely monitor what your kids are saying and doing on the internet because those words live on forever.
Social media is very unpredictable, and once something is out there, it's forever. It's very hard to take it back, and children are so young and they don't understand consequences like that.
The Marshall County Sheriff's Office is now investigating this incident, and I do want to remind you, if you or your kids are dealing with suicidal thoughts, call the National Crisis and Suicide Hotline at 988. Lawmakers say big changes are coming to food stamp eligibility this month. More low-income Americans will need to work in order to receive food stamps, and adults up to 50 years old without kids will need to show proof that they're working at least 80 hours a month. Veterans, homeless people, and young adults who aged out of foster care are exempt. And you'll pay less for your groceries this weekend. Alabama's new grocery tax law went into effect yesterday, and the law cuts the sales tax on all groceries by 1%. Another 1% tax cut is expected next September. And Tennessee grocery taxes holiday is currently in effect, and the holiday will last through the end of October. Governor Bill Lee says the holiday is expected to save families and small businesses around $400 million. Happening now, FDA inspectors are sounding the alarm about 3 baby formula makers. They say By Heart Incorporated, Reckitt Mead Johnson Nutrition, and Perigo Wisconsin LLC violated health codes. Those inspectors supervised their facilities over the past year, and they say despite the warning, they're not aware of any formula being contaminated at this time. And One Shoals School is making a difference inside and outside of the classroom. Students at Allen Thornton Technical Center in Lauderdale County raised over $6,000 for autism awareness. They used social media and spoke with people in the community to raise those funds. And student organizers say it all comes down to one simple goal.
Be kind. I hope they choose kindness, because that's what really uplifts people, and I think it's probably like one of the most important things that we can have as a society, just being kind, you know?
The fundraiser is a part of a partnership with the nonprofit organization Love Michael, and if you'd like to donate, you can call the school. One group in the Shoals is hosting an event to bring awareness to child abuse. Organizers with the Caden Garner Project will hold the free event at McLean Homes in Tuscumbia. It's today at 4, and the event is in remembrance of Garner. He was only 3 years old when he was beaten to death. Last week, jurors found Yllyric Pride guilty for his death. And Albertville school leaders want to educate you about the health and legal dangers of vaping. They will hold a free meeting for parents Tuesday at the Albertville City Schools Fine Arts Center. That meeting will begin at 6 p.m. And new details, members of NASA's SpaceX Crew 6 mission will need to wait until tomorrow before they can leave the International Space Station. Mission leaders with NASA say today's undocking was delayed because of bad weather near the splashdown site off the coast of Florida. Their next undocking date is tomorrow at 6:05 in the morning. And India's space program is looking to add another record after becoming the 4th country to land a spacecraft on the moon. Their newest spacecraft launched this morning, and it's headed to the sun. Mission managers will use the spacecraft to study exactly how activity on the sun affects space weather. And happening now, you can register for the 9/11 Heroes Run in Athens. The event will take place next Saturday at the Limestone County Courthouse, and it's set to begin at 7 in the morning. Event organizers say the run is aimed at uniting community members to remember the sacrifices made 22 years ago.
6:40 now on your Saturday morning, and we have raindrops on the lens of this camera at Toyota Field this morning. Some of us are dealing with some showers. Temperature is at 68 degrees, and we will see those 80s again for your afternoon highs. 31 triple Doppler though, and you can see where that rain is falling all the way from Muscle Shoals, seeing some light rain. Athens, Decatur, Huntsville, you'll see a few light showers as we head into the next few hours here. So if you're headed out to grab breakfast, you may want to have that umbrella on standby for just the next few hours, because we will start to see those rain chances go down throughout the day today. Your muggy meter, though, check this out. Pleasant category today, tomorrow, Monday. What a welcome sight for Labor Day weekend. So if you have any plans to be outdoors, maybe you're headed down to the river, maybe you're grilling out, you're looking good to go. You don't have to worry about it feeling so overwhelmingly muggy throughout the next 3 days. Here's the temperature for today, 87 for your high. We'll deal with those showers for the next few hours here, but then the rain will move out and we'll see a little sunshine for the rest of the day. Lower humidity will stick around through the rest of the afternoon as well. And of course, I'll give you your rest of your Labor Day weekend forecast coming up later on.
Thanks, Amber. Coming up, we're looking at the travel records set to be broken this Labor Day weekend. You're now taking a live look at the Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport. The Labor Day weekend travel rush is in full swing this weekend. And TSA workers are saying they're expecting to screen more than 14 million people this weekend. ABC's Allison Kosick goes over this close of this summer travel season.
The Labor Day weekend is underway. Along the New England coastline, people are soaking up the sun, enjoying the beach, and catching some waves. But there are concerns.
With so many people going to the beaches this holiday weekend, rip current's kind of bad timing, and that's what we're looking at here with these storms that are in the Atlantic.
Rough surf and dangerous rip currents impacting a large swath of the East Coast as Idalia continues to move farther away and swells from Hurricane Franklin affect beachgoers. This as the TSA expects to screen more than 14 million passengers this weekend.
The most air travel passengers that have been screened by TSA in American history.
On the roads, packed highways. AAA says the best time to hit the roads this weekend is before 7 a.m. or after 8 p.m. Meantime, this was the scene Friday near Sam Houston National Forest, north of Huntsville, Texas. A major wildfire erupting, the cause unknown. Monsoon season is also upon us, with flash flooding hitting parts of Las Vegas as another heat wave builds in the Midwest. Allison Cossack, ABC News, New York.
Now today is the start of college football season, which means it's also the start of the Hugh Freeze era on the Plains. The Auburn Tigers will welcome UMass to town at 2:30 today to begin their 2023 campaign. Former Michigan State quarterback Peyton Thorne will start for the Tigers, and Way 31 will be on the sidelines for the start of this new era for Auburn. And the Alabama Crimson Tide will be kicking off their season at home tonight at Bryant-Denny Stadium. The Tide will host Middle Tennessee State at 6:30. And head coach Nick Saban has still yet to officially name the team's starting quarterback. But ESPN says Jalen Milroe is expected to take the reins this week. Milroe will face an MTSU team who finished last year 8-5. And Way 31 will also be at this big season opener. The Alabama A&M Bulldogs will take on another Tennessee team tonight. They will be heading to Nashville to face Vanderbilt in their season opener. Kickoff is set for 6. And finally, the North Alabama Lions are back in action in Florence this afternoon. They're looking for their first win of the season under head coach Brent Dearman. And the Lions will play Chattanooga for the first time at a home game tonight at 6.
Now, Way 31 Storm Tracker meteorologist Amber Kuling with 31 Triple Doppler.
Now, Amber, there are supposed to be some home games for the Trash Bandits today, or this week, correct?
This week, yes. Coming up next week will be their last 6 games at home. So
I'm really going to have to make it out there then.
I know, that's what I was thinking. I was like, man, this is my last time to catch it this year. So far so good weather-wise for the Trash Pandas next week, but let's jump right into what you can expect if you're headed down to T-Town or even Auburn this afternoon for those games. College football is back. I cannot express how excited I am for this, but you will have to dodge a few showers and maybe a couple of thunderstorms if you're headed down to watch these games in person. But if you're staying home and you're watching those games from your television, you'll be good to go for this afternoon and evening. Right now across the Tennessee Valley on our Skycam network, it's cloudy. Some of us are dealing with a little bit of rain this morning. So if you're headed out the door to grab breakfast or maybe that coffee, well, make sure you have the rain gear for the next few hours. We will start to see that rain move out as we head into the later morning, early afternoon hours today. 31 Triple Doppler shows you where that rain is located from Athens, Decatur, even Gunnersville. Seeing a little bit of light rain right along 65, even 565 this morning. So if you are out on the roadways, take it slow, have those headlights on so the other drivers can see you, and just be aware of your surroundings. Temperature-wise, though, we are nice and comfortable once again in those upper 60s, low 70s, 71 right now in Fort Payne. It's 70 in Scottsboro, 68 here in Huntsville, and 68 as well in Decatur this morning. We will see these temperatures warm into the 80s today. Here's what we're expecting for Sand Mountain. We're looking at those middle 80s for a majority of you, and taking you towards the metro, middle to upper 80s across the area. Didn't forget about you out in the Shoals. We're looking at those middle to upper 80s for you as well. So still nice and comfortable for September 2nd. Enjoy those 80s while they stick around. And if you were planning to get outside today for that long weekend, take a look at the muggy meter. We're in the pleasant category today, tomorrow, and then again on Monday. So if you're grilling out for those football games or just spending time with family and friends, you're good to go. You don't have to worry about the humidity slapping you in the face for the next few days. Here's what to expect as we move through the next few hours here. Shower chances will stick around into the late morning, early afternoon. Then we will start to see those clouds clear and a little bit of sunshine for the later afternoon hours. As we head into the overnight hours, a few more clouds will start to filter in. We'll start the day off on Sunday with some sun, but then more clouds start to move in by tomorrow afternoon. Still nice and comfortable though. We'll be in those upper 80s for highs on Sunday. Clouds will stick around into your early Monday. Here's what we're looking at for your Labor Day weekend forecast. 89 for Sunday and then 91 on Monday. So a little warmer, but the humidity will stay low. So if you are traveling, trying to fit in that last-minute beach trip, you're going to be dodging some showers and thunderstorms along the Gulf Coast. But Birmingham, Nashville, Atlanta looking good this weekend in those upper 80s, low 90s. So if you're traveling, make sure to be careful, but enjoy it. Now, as we head into next week, those 90s return just in time for the last couple of Trash Panda games at home. And we will watch the end of next week for a cold front to move through. That could bring with it some showers and thunderstorms. Still a little too far off to really nail that forecast down. So we'll just focus on this weekend because it's looking good.
It is. I'm going to be on the river today, and I'm excited about this cloud cover. I'm not going to get baked.
Thank goodness.
Thanks, Amber. Still ahead, superstar Taylor Swift is breaking more records with her Eras Tour, this time in theaters. Zookeepers at a zoo in Denver are celebrating one of its newest residents. Take a look at this baby Sumatran orangutan, and mom Arena gave birth last Sunday. Caretakers for mom and baby say they are both doing well, and the baby orangutan does not have a name at this time. Now, Amber, I hear you are a major Taylor Swift fan.
I am a Swift fan for sure. I don't know if I'm a Swiftie. I don't know if I'd take it that far, but I do enjoy Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Did you get to go to her tour?
I did not.
Well, apparently executives at AMC say her new Eras Tour movie is already setting records, so you could go to the theaters and watch
There
it.
we go.
Swifties broke the previous single-day record in only 3 hours. Entertainment experts say AMC pre-sales are already up to $26 million.
Wow, I gotta get my tickets.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's going to be sold out by the time it happens.
Well, there we go. I know what I'm doing after the show.
At least you won't get rained on at this one.
Exactly, yeah. Now this morning, if you're headed out the door to grab your breakfast or your coffee, then make sure you have that rain gear because we are seeing a couple of showers this morning. Not all of North Alabama is seeing the rain, but it'll be out of our hair as we move into the afternoon hours and prepare for the first Saturday of college football.
I'm so excited.
Me too.
I think everyone's excited. Well, WAAY 31 gives you 24/7 coverage you can count on, local news, breaking news, and severe weather. Watch WAAY 31 on all of our streaming platforms and download the only weather app with 3 live Doppler radars. Good Morning America is next, and we'll see you back here at 8 a.m.